Little off the cuff, if you create, or if you're an entrepreneur and you're starting something, or maybe you're a writer, a novelist, an author, a photographer, a painter, a YouTuber, you create videos, photography, and you are taking a blank slate where there was nothing and you're creating it. I want to talk about something that I've been learning, and it really has to do about how do you protect the special core that creates and brings into fruition something when there was nothing. Well, once you create it, everybody's got feedback. Everybody can chime in and make it better. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this is I create websites. I write on behalf of other people. I have to create messaging on behalf of my clients. I create advertising and try and produce results for my clients. And one of the things that happens is I'll take a swipe at interviewing a client, hearing who their customer is, getting as much as I can. And then I have to sit down, I have to think and craft together messaging, value propositions, questions, statements. And then we have to actually develop a design, and we create a web design and graphic design. And you know what happens is we go from nothing and we put it on paper and we show it to people. And then they look at it and they're like, those 3 points in that section, it's all wrong. I want you to change that photo. And point number 1, I think you missed it. I think it should, maybe it should say this. And point number 2, boy, it's more of that. And point number 3, that's just, we got to change that. And you're sitting there going, God, it can just eat at you. And you feel it. I care when I make stuff. Like when we create anything on our teams, like I care deeply that it delivers and hits expectations and people are satisfied with it and it actually gets results. And boy, when people give me that feedback, it can just, it sucks the life out of you. Now, there's this weird tension that I've learned over the years, and I don't have it perfected yet. And I think for those of you starting a YouTube channel, starting a business, maybe you're cold calling people and trying to prospect and get a business, or maybe you're writing and creating your first website and putting together your service package, or whatever that is, you're going from nothing to something. And it's just like painting. You have a blank canvas and you're taking a swipe at it. I want to say, good job. That thing is the thing that most people can't even try. They can't even attempt it. Those same people, generally speaking, they're hiring me to solve this problem because they're not good at it. In fact, not only that, they probably can't do it. If I sit there and say, all right, so what should the first section of your website look like? And sit back and listen, generally speaking, nothing comes out. But if I guide them and say, hey, let's wireframe this out. I think it should look like this. It should sound like this. In fact, after visiting with you, here's my first attempt at it. How do we perfect this? Then what happens is they can come in and they know they have something to hang on to, and they can improve. So here's the thing you got to do. We want to listen to that criticism and invite that criticism. And when we hear it, don't take it so personally. And yet, they're the consumer. To a degree, we have to see how they're responding to it. They are the ultimate decider, right? And they can be wrong, but then again, they're never really wrong, are they? And how do we get their feedback to continuously improve? Do we do that on purpose? Because it feels a lot better when you invite it on purpose, right? And one little tip I have is to purposely invite people to give feedback and frame it up really well. Hey, you know what? I took a swipe at this. My hope is that it's going to be what I want, and I created for you, and I'm the professional, or I'm the artist, or I'm the visionary, or whatever that looks like. But here it is. I'd love to hear your feedback, and I want your real reactions. Now, you have to invite that, and if you invite that and you genuinely, nurture a culture or a situation where they can give honest feedback, and you can accept that feedback, and here's the second part. So number 1, go get the feedback. So then it's expected. Number 2, they'll give it to you. Number 3, push through and actually get their real responses. Because a lot of people like us and they don't want to hurt our feelings. And they don't tell us reality, and that's not helpful, right? And so you could ask lots of people, but genuinely speaking, but once you've done all that, what you want to do is make those changes, and then show them again and continuously improve, right? That's like the Lean Six Sigma, continuous improvement, Kaizen. Toyota kind of embraced this whole thing. But then the other thing we have to do is we have to remember, to a degree, now, if you're an artist, you're the expressor and they're the consumer. You do want to protect to a degree that as a creator, you might want to bring something into existence that, maybe doesn't resonate with everybody and resonates to a very specific crowd. But on the other side, you do want to consider, I want to be aware. I want feedback. I want to know what it's like to actually have somebody enjoy this, and is it helpful, and how can I make it better? Should I make it better? So if you're just a creator and it doesn't have any objective to it, maybe it doesn't matter as much to apply that feedback. For those of us that are in business, there is a thing where we just have to remember that it's part of the game. It's part of what we're doing. The customer has to be satisfied. It needs to accomplish what we said it's going to do. The expectations need to be met or exceeded, right? And it's incredibly difficult when you're creating and writing and building websites and making videos and creating commercials and doing all this stuff and then trying to get results. Ultimately, it is the results that matter, and we need to be in tune to that customer. And if we invite that in, but also protect, kind of guard your heart in a way, and guard against this super critical nature that feels like just because you've been creating something that people are criticizing, maybe like, I want it this way and I want it that way, and they keep redoing it. Now you got to control it, but protect the fact that that's a hard thing. And that as an entrepreneur, that's really what you're doing. As a business owner who's setting out to execute on something that didn't exist before, that's part of what you signed up for. This last couple of weeks, we do lots of hard work. We do lots of hard projects, and our team has to work very hard. And it's wrought with feedback, and it's wrought with criticism. And whenever we do that, it's like, sometimes it just feels down. But you got to remember that this is what we signed up for, and it's worth doing it. Because if you didn't have that, first of all, if they weren't giving you that feedback, it'd be like, oh God, they don't even care. I'll never get another client. But remember that as we do that, we're solving a hard problem. If it didn't matter, they wouldn't care. You couldn't charge for it. So remember that these problems are good to have. Good luck. God bless. In the comments, I'd love to hear some of the tensions. What's it like for you when you get feedback? Again, I share stuff in the moment or afterwards, and you share it and they're like, oh, you need to change this and do this and do this. And how does that make you feel? What industries do you do that where it's like, maybe it hurts you a lot? Maybe there's nobody in this video at all, but good luck. God bless. Like and subscribe to Feedbackwrench if you like entrepreneurship, business ownership, marketing. We do a lot for accountants, tax, financial, whatever. Good luck. God bless.